Hi, and welcome back to another episode of So You Missed Your iPod. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the Fiio Snowsky Echo Mini. Now, this is like a little retro MP3 player. It's meant to look like a tape recorder. It has Bluetooth capability. It's got two headphone jacks, one single-ended and one balanced. The balanced headphone jack puts out, I think it's about 250 milliwatts per channel. Single-ended is 100 milliwatts per channel. So for the size and the cost, I think this thing puts out a lot of power. It's able to drive both. Right now I have a pair of Fiio Jade Audio JT7s and a Hi-Fi Min Edition XS. We're going to talk about those in a later video, but I have both of those here for comparison, and this drives both of them pretty well. You also have micro SD input, USB-C. As far as top, you've got a back button, your play button, which is also your like enter button, left, right, which is volume up and volume down, or next track, last track, depending on your context and your settings. And then a power button, which I think is pretty self-explanatory. So we can start out by looking at the system settings. So you've got your Bluetooth settings. You can do turn it on, scan devices, see what you have paired. The downside of the Bluetooth on this, it does not support AAC, which is Apple's codec for Bluetooth. That means that it won't work for Apple devices. So if you have AirPods, this doesn't work, which is a disappointment to me. But if you have any other brand of Bluetooth headphone, then it should be fine, except for I think probably Beats. I'm assuming Beats also uses AAC, but I guess I don't know for sure. Let's go to the screen timeout really quick so that it stops turning itself off on me. But again, it seems fairly self-explanatory. You've got screen timeout, screen brightness. I believe I have it at 4. I don't know how obvious it is. At least through the camera, I don't think it makes a huge difference. So we'll set it to 3 for now. Let's go back. You've got your shutdown settings, so that's just like basic power saving stuff. Set your date and time if you care. Interface style, you've got a couple different settings you can do for that. Doesn't seem like there's any customization here like beyond what's already included, but I can show you really quick. I think that the Midnight Black and the Retro Gold are kind of my two favorites. Yeah. Set your language. You got your information that shows you hardware, software, how much memory you've got. The firmware is a little bit of a process to flash new firmware onto this thing. You have to first you have to have the SD card removed, and then you have to download the firmware from Fiio's website. Then, I think it's technically the Snowsky website, but you know, if you search for Echo Mini firmware, you'll get it. The latest version, at least as of a few days ago, is 3.0. And then you have to like zip that, or no, you extract a zip file and then you put that onto the like local storage on here, which when you have the memory card removed, you can plug this into your computer and set it in like a USB mode so that you can put the firmware on the local storage, and then you have to go and do like I don't think it's under format disk. Let's see. No, I don't remember. I'll put a link to the instructions for it. But basically, it's a little bit of a process. The device, I don't believe, has any sort of Wi-Fi capability, so you can't do it from the device. You have to do it with your computer. Shows your supported audio codecs. It's basically everything. I have confirmed it does support Apple lossless as well, which is, I believe, falls under M4A. But yeah, so it can play pretty much anything as long as you're not going through Bluetooth. Reset all settings, again, self-explanatory. Format disk, format SD card. Yeah, those are if you want to basically format disk is if you want to like fully reset the device, and then format TF card would be if you need to format the memory card to make sure that it works. So that's probably more something that you would do like when you first get the device, put an SD card, format it to make sure it's in the right format, and then you would load it up with the music files that you want. And yeah, and that's it for settings. Let's see what else. We've got music settings. You can have album art displayed. I currently have it disabled because I don't know if I have album art that can be displayed. Well, I don't know. We'll put that on and we'll see if it does anything. I don't think the tracks that I have on here have album art, but I guess we'll see. Volume limiter lets you control like what the maximum volume is. I just have it set to max because I trust myself to not blow my eardrums out. Loop setting. This, I believe, is where you can go in and you can choose like what the repeat is, loop one, sequential play, shuffle play. So shuffling is a little clunky on this. You can get to these whenever you're listening to music, you can get to these music settings like really quickly, which I will show you when we go to that point. But when you're setting the loop, you have to like come in and manually say, I want to shuffle play, loop one, sequential play, etc. And I think that, I'm not sure, when it says loop once, I don't know if that means it'll keep looping the same song, or if it means it'll like go all the way to the end and then loop back one time. I don't really know. I guess that doesn't make sense to me, but yeah, folder jumping song. I don't know if I looked at this. Yeah, I'm actually not sure what the setting does. I didn't look at that one at all. For equalizer, you have a couple of different options. I think that it sounds perfectly fine with no equalizer on. And then you can go, so you've got like different presets, and then you can go to custom. The custom it's okay. It's a pretty simple equalizer. You've got like a little bit of adjustment up and down, and that's pretty much it. I'm trying to remember, how do you get, I go to the custom. How do I go left and right on this? Is it this button? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's where you'd use this button to select like which EQ you're using, and then the left and right allows you to set like up or down, like what you want the setting to be. But anyway, I'm just gonna keep it off because, as I said, been good with it. You have filters. So you can, let's see, how do these work? Actually, I haven't looked at this. Minimum. I'm actually not sure what these do. Well, if anyone knows, or if I see something about it, I will follow that up. But I'm not sure what the filters actually do, to be completely honest. Gain adjustment, so you can set to be in low gain mode or high gain mode. I have it set to high gain mode. You can have the fast forward function enabled or disabled. That just means that if you have fast forward enabled, it means when you hold this button down, it'll fast forward instead of doing like next track, last track. You have your volume button, which I think is just showing how you can have it configured. If you have it in mode B, I see. It's showing that like if you have it in mode A, I think the idea of mode A is that it's like, oh, well, you're holding the device like this, so then this is volume up. In mode B, it would be like you're holding the device like this, so then this is volume down, which makes sense to me contextually. Lyrics switch. I think that's saying that if you have lyrics, you can show them. It's enabled on here, but I don't think I have any tracks that have lyrics in them, so it is what it is. Then you got your channel balance, and you can, push it more to the right or to the left. Again, I don't know why someone would do that, but I guess if you had a track and you wanted to only hear the right side of it, or if you wanted to, you were only listening on like one earbud and you wanted to listen to everything, then you could probably push everything to the left. unless all this is doing is just controlling the volume of each channel, which is also possible. But anyway, all right. So now there's a file browser, media library. I think in terms of actual practice, these basically look the same, but you can see like what's on your, I only have two albums on here right now just for testing, but Thousand Year Door soundtrack, the remastered soundtrack, because it sounds really good. And then Enema of the State from Blink-182, which I just had as another point of comparison, basically. I believe the media library looks more or less the same. I mean, it's a file browser, but it just lets you actually look at like your all songs and, different your artists, albums, genres. It looks pretty much the same as it always would. If you go to music playback, if you hit play on here, it'll jump straight in. What I was saying earlier about the music settings is if you hit this button when you're in a track, this button here, it'll take you straight to the music settings. So that's why I was saying you have the menu that you can access like from the like home page, but generally you can get to all your music settings like while you're listening to. So that's where it'd be more useful to look at like the loop setting, equalizer, filters, all that stuff. But anyway, yeah, I didn't think that I had album art on these, and I do not. So yeah. But anyway, all that to say, those are all the features for it. In general, I think that it sounds really good. It's, as far as build goes, I think it's well built, but it's it's cheap materials. It's plastic. It's I think this is a plastic display. Again, I like the look of it. It's meant to look like an old tape recorder. They even have this like fake battery compartment. I mean, I guess the battery might actually be back there, but you can't actually open it up and look at it. No built-in speaker or anything that you see on some of these lower-end players, which honestly I'm fine with because I have always been like, why would I bother using the cheap built-in speaker anyway? But yeah, I like it. I like that it's pretty much all physical controls. I like that it's small. If I had Bluetooth earbuds that I could use to go run with it, it would be great for that. And I like how easy it is to put tracks on it, and it seems like pretty good at just recognizing all the information on the track and giving you that information accurately. I didn't have to fiddle with like the metadata or anything to get things to display the way that I wanted them to. And then I also, again, want to re-stress, has a lot of power for the size that it is, drives harder to drive headphones like pretty well. I think you'd be good with any headphone that you had on this up to really hi-fi, hard to drive stuff. So yeah, I think that's it for now. If I was gonna, again, rank the devices that I've done so far, which is the Swofie D50, the Oasis Y1, and then this, I think they would actually pretty much go exactly in that order in terms of how much I like them. So this is the top so far, and it's the Oasis Y1, and then the Swofie D50. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.